You've probably had heard of this book before, but if you haven't, here's the quick intro. The author Napoleon Hill spent 25 years studying over 500 of the world's most successful people. And this book is the result. This is the step-by-step breakdown of how to become the most successful people in the world. But this book is not the easiest book to read. The language is old school, the content is really dense, and it mixes mindset and practical advice with some pretty unfamiliar spiritual concepts like energy, indefinite intelligence, and sex transmutation. Honestly, it can be pretty overwhelming or even confusing, especially if you are not familiar with both concepts in spiritual world and also the self-development world. And this is exactly why I made this video. I'm KY and I'm super into the personal growth and also the spiritual development. I've even gone through a 30 days spiritual awakening journey and taken loads of courses in both areas to deepen my understanding. After reading this book, I honestly recommend to anyone who wants to succeed in their life. So in this video, I'm going to save you time, simplify the ideas, and walk you through all the steps so you can think and grow rich. I remember the first time when I heard someone say, your thoughts shape your reality, or it's 80% about the mindset and 20% about the skill set. Honestly, I thought those people were kinda delulu. If it's really all comes from the mind, that's cool. I will just lie in bed, daydreaming for a living, and wait for my dream life to show up at the doorstep. But I totally misunderstood what is actually meant, because the truth is, everything really does start with a thought. Edison imagined a long-lasting, affordable light source, so he created light bulb. The Wright brothers believed that humans can fly, so they figured out a way to make it happen. Even in your life, you've probably seen this play out. You just might not have noticed that. Let's say there is a great job opportunity. One person read the job description and think, I'm not qualified enough. And other person see the same listing and then they think, that's me, I'm exactly who they are looking for. Same job but two different thoughts. And this leads to something that can change your life, and that is taking action. One person applies the job and the other doesn't. So I would say it's fair to believe that you can think and grow rich. Of course, it's not the only thing that matters, but it's definitely where all begins. So in this video, I'm going to show you how the step-by-step system from Think and Grow Rich that you can apply straight away after this video, so that you can start shifting your mindset and build your dream life. And then at the end, we will go deeper. That's where I break down the spiritual concepts or ideas like indefinite intelligence, vibration, sex transmutation, everything. That's quite exciting, because this part will help you to understand the book on a much deeper level, and the whole book will start to make more sense, and it's like the missing pieces is finally clicked. So I do recommend you watch to the end and get the full recipes on how to think and grow rich. Have you ever craved something so badly, like a specific food, like no matter what, you just had to get it? Even if it's raining outside, it's late night, or it's freezing outside, you still get changed and go out to get it. I remember when I was visiting my partner in Malaysia, they have a street food that is called Luk Luk, and it's kind of like hot pot, and I love it. But the problem is, these stores only open at night. So one night around 10 p.m, I had already showered and already changed into my pajamas, but suddenly I was hit with this massive craving for Luk Luk. Like, I really want to have it right now. So I begged my boyfriends to take me there. I was like, I will shower again, I don't care, just please take me, I really want it. And guess what? I got what I wanted. This might sound like a very silly late night cravings, but hidden inside is a very powerful lesson about success. That is burning desires. When you really want something, nothing can stop you. Cold, the rain, time, all are irrelevant. That's the exact kind of desire you need if you want to succeed. One quote I love from the Think and Grow Rich is, no one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as reality. This book doesn't exactly tell you how to develop a burning desire, but here's what I will do. I keep asking myself why I want something. Not just on a surface level reasoning, but I want to dig deeper. I would like to find out the core reason why I want this thing. There will be a core reason that lights you up, and that's the burning desire. And the reason can be anything. There's no judgment in here. Maybe you want a better quality in your life. Maybe you want to support your family. You want to take care of your whole family. Maybe that's about your status, freedom, fame. Because most people will only say, I want more money. But why do you want more money? Is it because the money means freedom to you? Is it because money gives you validation or a sense of security? Again, no judgment here. Any answers is welcomed. I'm not saying you should chase for fame or for validations, whatever reason. That's a whole different conversation that can save for another video. But what matters in here is, if you want to think and grow rich, it starts with wanting something so badly, and you're willing to move through anything to get it. All thoughts which have been emotionalized and mixed with faith begin immediately to translate themselves into their physical equivalents or counterparts. This is one most powerful sentence in this chapter. Whether you believe it or not, as humans, our actions are driven by our emotions. Even you think that you're a super logical person, behavioral science has already proved that emotions plays a huge role in making decisions. And here's where it gets interesting. Our thoughts and desire can actually trigger our emotions, which push us into the actions. Let's say your biggest desire is to retire your parents, and now you imagine you are taking them on a beautiful trip, buying them thoughtful gifts, treating them a fancy dinner, and they're so happy, they're so proud of you. Just picturing this moment will bring you a wave of emotions like joy, happiness, gratitude, and pride. And those feelings will become the fuel that to push you to work harder, to stay focused, and do whatever it takes to turn them into the reality. But without believing in yourself you can do it, the motivations won't last. That's why faith comes in. Faith means believing so deeply in what you want that you are sure on a gut level it can become your reality. Without the belief, most people just give up. When you stop believing in yourself, in your abilities, in your dreams, you eventually stop doing the things that move you forward. That's why the desire is only the first step. The next step is having faith in yourself, believing you are capable, believing this is possible, believing you can do this. You must believe in yourself before any evidence show up in the reality. So now the question is, how do you build this kind of faith in yourself? And right now, let's talk about it. The third step is auto-suggestion. And honestly, I think this is the step that make or breaks whether the whole system works for you or not. Because everything starts with a belief. And this is the step that actually helps you change your belief. Have you ever found yourself experiencing the same thing again and again? I used to constantly tell myself that I'm not a likable person. If someone didn't laugh at my joke, not likable. If someone didn't text me back within an hour, again, not likable. If I said something in the meeting and there was awkward silence, oh my god, I messed up. No one likes me. My brain started to automatically interpret everything through that belief. It was like I have trained my mind to filter all of the social experience as a proof that I wasn't likable. And that belief completely affected how I show up around people. Because I thought I wasn't likable, of course I didn't feel confidence to talk with others. And let's be real, when someone lacks confidence, you can feel it, right? You don't feel as drawn to them as someone who shows up with confidence and certainty. So what happened was my belief shaped my actions, and the result of those actions confirmed the belief. It's a cycle. This is why this step is very important. This step is to break the cycle. You will hear this phrase a lot in spiritual content. You have to rewire your subconscious mind for you to achieve what you want, for you to get what you want. And at first I thought everything was just a fluff, but when you really understand the principle, it actually makes a lot of sense. Rewiring your subconscious mind means changing your belief in a core level. You start suggesting new beliefs, a belief that align with the person that you want to become. And once you truly believe that you are that kind of person, your actions will naturally reflect it. For example, when I start telling myself I'm a likable person, people enjoy talking with me, I actually just show up more confidently. I initiate conversations. I didn't just stand in the corner at the social events. That's the power of auto-suggestions. We need to keep suggesting reinforcing a belief that supports of the versions of ourselves we are becoming until it becomes the second nature, until our subconscious mind actually accepts that's the truth. You can do this in so many ways: positive affirmations, visualization meditations, visual boarding, healing from the wounds. But honestly, the easiest way is positive affirmations. Just repeat something like I am XXX, and that's the trait you would like to have, or I already have, that's your goal, or something that you would like to have. Just repeat those sentences every single day, and there's actually a lot of positive affirmations, meditation stuff on YouTube that you can search. The best time to do it is right after you wake up and before you go to bed. That's the proven time. That's your brain is most open for rewiring. So in my case, I will say something like I'm likable, everyone enjoys talking with me. And if to go deeper and build real, lasting self-confidence, I've made a full video of breaking down my system to achieve that, and you can watch the video that I've put the link in here. Have you ever looked at your goals and thought, I honestly have no idea how I'm going to get there, so maybe I should just give up? Yeah, been there. That's exactly why this step is so important, because once you know what you want, the next question is, what do I need to learn, or who do I need to connect with to actually make this happen? This step is all about gaining knowledge and building your mastermind group, the people and resources that help you grow faster and smarter. So let's start with knowledge. And honestly, this part is pretty straightforward. Just ask yourself, the person who I want to become, what skills or knowledge do they have? When you get the answer, just go and get it. That might mean reading a book, taking classes, enrolling in courses, watching tutorials, or even studying for a degree. It depends on what your goals is. But one thing to remind is, you can't do everything by yourself. I used to try. I was afraid to ask for help. I didn't want to get rejected or look silly in front of people. So I told myself, I just learn everything on my own. But deep down, I wasn't being independent. I was actually being scared. I was using self-learning to avoid vulnerability. I don't want to ask for help. But that's something might surprise you, and I also learned this from the book of Think Big, which is talking about behavioral science. Most people actually underestimate how likely it is we will get a positive response when we ask for help. People are busy living their own lives. They are not judging you the way that you think. And even if they say no, they will probably forget the conversations by next week. Plus, there are actually proven ways to increase your chance to get people to say yes when you ask for help. For example, ask in person, be direct, put people on the spot in a respectful way. There's just so many things that you can do to increase the chance for people saying yes. So the first way to access knowledge beyond yourself is ask for help. And the second way is outsource. Outsource the thing that you don't enjoy or you are not skilled at. For example, myself as a YouTuber, I can outsource my script writing, I can outsource the video editing, thumbnail design, etc. So when you outsource part of your work, then you can focus on what actually moves things forward. The third way of getting knowledge beyond yourself is join a mastermind group or a community. Surround yourself with people who have similar goals, similar values, and who are actively working on the same thing. When you are in that kind of environment, you learn faster. You can ask questions and you don't feel like you are doing all of this alone. Personally, I highly recommend joining an online course, not just for the content, but also for the structure and the people. A good course can give you a step-by-step roadmap on how to actually achieve what you want. A community of people learning the same thing, and access to coaches or group calls that acts as a built-in mastermind. So you don't have to waste hours watching random YouTube videos or piecing information from the books. To keep it simple, this step is about two things. First, identify the key skill and knowledge that you need. The second is get it through asking people, outsourcing, continuous learning, join mastermind group. So if you are planning to take an online course, I've also made a video about how to choose an online course that's actually worth your money. I will leave the link in here and you can watch it. In this book, Napoleon Hill talks about two types of imaginations. One is synthetic imaginations and the other is the creative imaginations. I will come back to creative imaginations later on a later chapter because that is more about on the spiritual side, so I will put it in the last sessions. So remember to stay to the end. because that part is fun. But for now, let us focus on the synetic imaginations. This is the method that most inventors, creators, or problem solvers that will use daily. It is not about coming up ideas from nowhere. It is about combining existing ideas, concept, or experience to create something new. If you have read the book of Still Like an Artist, this is exactly what he's talking about. There's a quote inside the book. It said, "Nothing is original. Steal from anywhere that resonates with inspirations or fuels your imaginations." Or Steve Jobs puts it, creativity is just about connecting things. So what does this mean for you? It means that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Look at the resources system, articles, documents, or anything that is related to your goals. Get inspirations from them. And then after you get inspirations, connecting those ideas with your creativity. For example, I'm very into spiritual development and also personal development. So I've read tons of books about manifestations, meditations, mindfulness, time management, productivity, goal setting, internal family system. So instead of choosing one or the other, I start blending them together. I took the concept of like rewiring your subconscious mind, that is more from the spiritual practice, and also I use visualization meditations and integrate into my productivity routines so that I could reach my goals faster. For example, in my morning, I do visualization meditations and I will rewire my subconscious mind, and then in the afternoon I will just use my productivity system to help me get things done faster. That's the synetic imaginations, and that is something you can do. This is why I always say that don't just copy and paste other system, other ideas, or others concept. Take inspirations from others and make it your own. But right now when Hughes talk about imaginations, it doesn't mean daydreaming. It is mean using the idea to create a practical plan, to create an initial plan, to turn something from intangible to something real. When you've got the visions, you have gathered your ideas, you kind of know where you want to go and what it might take to get you there. Then it brings us to the next step. It is called organized planning. In simple terms, just make a plan. The book doesn't go deep about how to make a plan, how to make a step-by-step plan in details to get your goals. But that's not a problem because that's exactly what all my content is about. So if you want to build your own system, if you would like to know how to set goals, how to achieve your goals, how to build your productivity system, then remember to check out my other videos. If you like it, just consider to subscribe me. I will break it down all of the ideas into a very simple, practical, and actionable ways. And then let us move to the next point. So let us talk about persistence. Honestly, on the surface level, it's pretty hard. Just don't give up. But the truth is, this is the part where most people fall off. Why? Because we've been taught that being persistent means constantly grinding, putting in crazy efforts, working long hours, day in and day out until we make it. And yeah, sometimes success that takes hard work. There will be seasons that you have to push harder, stay up late, and give it everything that you've got. But that doesn't mean persistent always has to feel heavy and painful. Persistent just means don't give up. There is no emotions attached to it. It doesn't mean that you are constantly suffering or pushing through burnout every single day. That's why I always say don't overly obsess with the results. This will give you the burnout. Instead, find a process that you actually enjoy doing. The ones that energize you more than it drains you. Because when you enjoy doing something, even hard work feels worth it. Will there be moments of stress, frustrations, or doubts? Of course, because that's life. Nothing worth building is going to feel 100% amazing all the time. But if you accept that and remind yourself those moments will pass, it is just temporary. Nothing is permanent. Nothing will last forever. And you will be able to keep going. I've been working something outside of my full-time job for the past 2 years. Something that I care about. Something that I honestly believe is very meaningful. I've poured hours and energy into it, and honestly, if I had to measure it, I would say I have made 1% of my progress towards my full vision. And if you've seen my mini vlogs, I'm showing up for this every single day. But here's the thing, I haven't made any money from it yet. I've worked on this even harder when compared to my full-time job, and I'm still at the beginning after 2 years. But why I didn't give up? Because my desire is strong enough to carry me through. I believe in myself, and most importantly, I genuinely enjoy the process. I feel like I'm finally doing something that gives me the purpose. So if you take one thing from this section, let it be. It's not just about being persistent. It's not about forcing yourself to keep going while you're drowning in negative emotions. It's about building a life that you pulled forward by a strong desire, belief in yourself, and a process you don't want to escape from. That what makes you unstoppable. Napoleon Hill says successful people make decisions quickly and rarely change their mind. Unsuccessful people, they take forever to decide and then constantly second guess about their choice. But why does this even matter? Because indecision is really fear in disguise. If you're stuck in your head second guessing everything, you end up wasting time, missing opportunities, and never build the momentum. Making a decision doesn't mean it will be perfect, but it does mean it will move you forward. And honestly, that's the only way anything changes. Actions create clarity, not overthinking. Now let us get into the part that where I think is the most exciting and being misunderstood. That is the spiritual side. And even if you're not super into spirituality, don't worry, because I'm going to explain it into a grounded and practical way that actually makes sense. This book talks about creative imaginations, indefinite intelligence, the sixth sense, and let me simplify for you into 2 words. That is gut feeling. Have you ever met someone, maybe it was a date or a friend, and they seemed perfect on paper? They were kind, friendly, and said all the right things, but something inside you just fell off, and later it turned out you were right. They betrayed you, said something nasty behind your back, or showed their true colors, and you're left thinking, I knew it, I should have trusted my gut. That's the sixth sense. That's the indefinite intelligence. That's the inner wisdom we all have, and Hill believed that it played a huge part in success. That's the quiet voice inside your mind saying that this isn't right, you should do this instead, you should not do this. You know yourself better than anyone else. And when you slow down and actually listening to your inner voice, that gut feeling, you will often find it knows what to do before your rational mind catch up. You can call it creative imaginations, intuitions, higher self, whatever that fits your belief system. You've probably felt that before. Do I believe there is God, universe, and also something that is on a more spiritual side of things? Yes, I do, but I will keep this more practical and ground for you to understand. And right now, let us talk about the chapter that always confuse people. That is sex transmutation. Napoleon Hill says that sexual energy is one of the most powerful force in human body, and honestly it makes sense when you think about it. How many people have destroyed their long-term relationships, even their own family, over a one-night decisions? How many people lose focus or motivations because they are constantly chasing for distractions or instant gratification? Sexual energy is real, it's powerful, and it can be destructive. It depends on how you use it, but it can also be redirected into something that is meaningful. That's what transmutation means. It just means redirection. Redirect the energy into your work, into your goals, into your purpose. This is the reason why you see so many no-fap, not stop watching porn, that kind of videos on YouTube and got a lot of views, because people are realizing that when they stop leaking their energy through that kind of process, they can gain back their focus, they can gain back their concentration, and then truly redirect that energy to do something that is more meaningful. So in simpler terms, it's like when you are procrastinating, but instead of giving in, you decide to channel that energy into something that is productive. That sex transmutation is not just about sex, it's about focus, self-control, and powerful redirection. So yes, these are the spiritual concepts, but they can absolutely be explained in a more practical practical and modern ways. And I hope this helps you understand these concepts aren't just woo-woo, they are actually tools. And if you learn how to use them, they can help you grow, not just spiritually, but in your mindset, your focus, and in your life. I honestly recommend this book to everyone if you would like to succeed in life, because even though it's not a step-by-step detailed process or how-to guide, it does give you a powerful blueprint of success. It is super practical, like how to set goals, how to build a productivity system, how to review and track your progress. Not really, it doesn't go into that kind of details, but what it does give you is a big picture of how success actually works and the mindset you need to make it happen. First, you need a strong desire. You need to know what you want, and you need to be obsessed with your goals in the best way possible. Then you need to believe in yourself. That belief will keep you from giving up when things get hard. It's what's helped you keep showing up even you are not seeing the result yet. After that, you have to gain the right knowledge, whether it is from books, from online courses, from Mastermind, from people, or from outsourcing, whatever. And then you need to surround yourself with people that support your growth. Then it comes with planning. You need a step-by-step plan that actually moves you forward, and you need to take actions consistently. And above all of that, you need persistence and decisiveness. This means you don't quit the second things get hard, and you don't sit around and stuck in indecisions forever. Finally, you've got some bonus principles, the ones people often overlook because they sound woo-woo, like trusting your gut feelings or redirecting your energy and focus into something that is meaningful. When you look everything from a grounded perspective, these are not fluff. They are the real tools and they actually work. This is the whole blueprint to success. If you understand everything practically, this book gives you a full mental system for success, and that's what makes it powerful. That's what makes it different from all of the books that is just a how-to guide. And that's the end of this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!